देश के 125 करोड़ लोगों के स्वाभिमान का राइज होना, देश के आत्मगौरव का राइज होना। आज पूरा विश्व भारत के इस उदय को, राइजिंग इंडिया को मान दे रहा है, सम्मान दे रहा है। ये राइजिंग इंडिया की एक ऐसी तस्वीर है जिस पर हर हिंदुस्तानी को गर्व होगा।
Poonawalla FinCorp presents News 18 Rising India Real Heroes. 29th and 30th March on News 18 Network. Presented by Poonawalla FinCorp Limited, enabling dreams.
The entire world agrees that we do need to end this conflict, but are we in store for virtually an endless war, because neither side would want to give up any territorial claims?
Where is our diaspora, and how are such radicals able to raise funds in Western nations when it is a fact that such funds are used for anti-India operations?
Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Parliament has broken all records of productivity. But this time around we see there is a standoff.
Gypsy Baral just is just a defense. He should stand up and say that I apologize, I made a mistake.
Yes, removing security outside the High Commission is fair enough, but it's not like the protests have stopped, and it's not like the British authorities are trying to stop these protests.
You're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. It is a mega twister on the road to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, a day after being convicted by a Surat court for defamation over his 2019 speech, where he said all those with the Modi surname are thieves. Rahul Gandhi has been disqualified as a member of parliament. As things stand, the man who has led the opposition charge against the Modi government on the national stage will not be able to contest the 2024 general elections. Moreover, if the conviction is not overturned, he can't contest elections for the next 8 years. The Congress has made it clear it will appeal the conviction in a higher court. But the political offensive is only escalating, with the Congress accusing the centre of conspiring to silence the former Wayanad Member of Parliament. The BJP has maintained that the rule of law has prevailed, saying the conviction comes from an independent judiciary, accusing Mr Gandhi of insulting the OBC community with his 2019 remark. Top BJP sources say that will be the party's campaign offensive against the Congress party. The disqualification order has also rallied the opposition around Rahul Gandhi, with top regional satraps showing solidarity with the former Member of Parliament. In fact, 14 political parties, including the Congress, have moved the Supreme Court, claiming misuse of investigation agencies by the central government. However, optics and political interests are poles apart. Once the election season kicks in to top gear, will the opposition parties train guns at each other to secure and expand their political bases? More importantly, has Rahul Gandhi's conviction opened up the contest for a new contender to take on Prime Minister Modi in the 2024 battle?
इन सब के नाम, इन सब चोरों के नाम मोदी 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 कैसे हैं? नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, और अभी थोड़ा ढूंढेंगे तो और बहुत सारे मोदी निकलेंगे।
ये देखिए, उनको सत्य बोलने के लिए वो राहुल जी को डिस्क्वालीफाई करने के लिए सारे प्रयास किए हैं।
वो सदा अपने आप को संसद से ऊपर, सदन से ऊपर सरकारों से ऊपर, देश से ऊपर और न्याय व्यवस्था से ऊपर समझते हैं।
वो दृश्य कल पूरे देश ने देखा है जब एक माननीय न्यायालय ने उनके कृत्यों के लिए उन्हें सजा सुनाई और कहा कि नहीं, आपका ये वक्तव्य सामान्य संसदीय परंपराओं के विरुद्ध भी है, शिष्टाचार के विरुद्ध भी है और एक सांसद को इस प्रकार के वक्तव्य कभी शोभा नहीं दे सकते हैं।
अडानी घोटाले से ध्यान हटाने के लिए आज इनको कीमत चुकानी पड़ी।
First, let me tell you why has the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi been disqualified. In 2013, the Supreme Court in fact struck down Section 8, subsection 4 of the Representation of People's Act, that is the RPA, which allowed convicted MPs, MLAs and MLCs, that is the member of legislative councils, to continue in their posts, provided they appeal against their conviction in higher courts within 3 months of the date of judgment. That was then. The Supreme Court held Section 8, subsection 4 of the Representation of People's Act as unconstitutional. And as per the Supreme Court's order, a convicted MP with 2-year jail term will immediately and automatically lose his or her membership. And this will happen with immediate effect. The top court then also said that MPs don't have 3 months to appeal conviction. So it has to be done immediately. So let's decode the legal road ahead for the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. Option 1, Rahul Gandhi can move the Sessions Court for a stay on conviction, because that's certainly the big challenge and concern for him at the moment. Rahul Gandhi can approach the President to challenge the disqualification. And option 3 is that Rahul Gandhi can move the Supreme Court under the special leave petition. So he can file an SLP challenging what happened in the Surat court. And option 4 before Rahul Gandhi is that he can cite Article 32 in the Supreme Court to seek justice if he can make the case that his rights have been unduly deprived. But this has opened up the field within the opposition camp, potentially sparking a contest for a new contender against Prime Minister Modi in 2024. So who are the front runners? First, there is Mamata Banerjee, who aims to become the opposition nucleus. As the 3-time Chief Minister of West Bengal, who defeated the BJP in the state recently, she has time and again called the Congress a spent force. Then there is Arvind Kejriwal, who has pitched the Aam Aadmi Party as an alternative to the Congress, completely removing them from Delhi and also Punjab, and he is eyeing a foothold in the poll-bound states this year. Then you have the southern face in Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who is set to face off against the BJP in the poll-bound state and has renamed his party, talking about his national ambitions, from Telangana Rashtra Samiti to Bharat Rashtra Samiti. Then there is also the political veteran Sharad Pawar, who enjoys good ties with all political parties, and he's often seen as a safe bet. Nitish Kumar also makes the list, but despite being in the opposition camp, he is not trusted for his flip-flops, and he lacks that political clout beyond Bihar. Pallavi Ghosh is joining me live from the AICC headquarters. Pallavi, what next for Rahul Gandhi?
Well, that's exactly what is being figured out at the steering committee meeting, which is going on right behind me and which I think should end in a short while from now. But when I'm talking about figuring out, it's actually the political strategy which is being figured out. Legal strategy, we have been breaking it down. What are the options before Rahul Gandhi? They really need to go and have a stay on the conviction first. That's their priority. And after they get a stay on the conviction, they hope to have a stay on the disqualification as well. So it could be a long, drawn-out legal process where the Congress is pretty pretty optimistic that they should be getting some reprieve soon. But it's a political battle which I think the Congress party would want it to carry on for a longer time. Even if Rahul Gandhi gets relief and a stay on his conviction and on his disqualification, to use the words of the Congress, the ill treatment of Rahul Gandhi, the political witch hunt of Rahul Gandhi is a narrative which, Maria, I think they want to push up till 2024, projecting Rahul Gandhi as the only challenger to Narendra Modi, as a real fighter unlike the rest of the opposition, and the only one who is not scared. So if you look at the way they had planned the Bharat Jodo Yatra Part 1, how they are planning it Part 2, which is likely to come up sometime in April, and also this entire push over the Adani JPC issue, and I'm not going to back off, and this is being topped by the disqualification, and to take a cue from Rahul Gandhi's own responses makes it very clear what is going to be the line of the, or the electoral slogan really of the Congress party leading up to 2024.
And Pallavi, is Rahul Gandhi himself expected at this strategy meet?
I'm sorry, Maria, if you could repeat your question.
Is Rahul Gandhi expected at that meet at the AICC headquarters? Is he going to come?
We've been told that he could turn up sometime little later. He's just left his residence, as my colleague Shireen has been reporting. As of now, of course, he hasn't yet reached the Congress headquarters. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Sonia Gandhi, in fact, were the first ones to turn up. And Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is certainly taking the lead as far as formulation of the strategy goes. So it's quite a possibility that Rahul Gandhi may turn up towards the end, or he wants to send out a message by trying to stay away from it. No official word yet on whether Rahul Gandhi is going to be joining the steering committee meeting.
All right, Pallavi, really appreciate your time. Let me bring in my guests now. Arima Sundaram, senior advocate, is joining me live. Aprajita Sarangi, member of parliament of the BJP. Manikam Tagore, Congress MP. Neerja Chaudhary, journalist, political activist. Biswajit Deb is TMC leader. Before I bring in all the politicians, I want to understand the legal ramifications of this. And Arima Sundaram on the screen now, please. Mr. Sundaram, judgment yesterday, disqualification today. Do you see this unusual and unprecedented?
Not really. You see, in 2013, by the judgment, the Supreme Court made it very, very clear that the moment a judgment sentencing somebody to an imprisonment of 2 years or more was passed, he ipso facto got disqualified from the House. So it's a natural corollary. The law had a lacune in that what happens, after all, you have a right of statutory appeal, and the appellate court can stay the conviction, in which case, should you not be given a bit of time to be able to go to the appellate court? Therefore, the Manmohan Singh government came out with an ordinance by which they gave a limited period of time for a person to appeal to an appellate court, which, strangely, Rahul Gandhi tore up in a press conference and is now hoisted on his own petard. Because this is the whole lacune in the law. Because after all, the moment he gets a stay of that conviction, if he gets a stay of the judgment, ipso facto, the disqualification ceases to have effect. This is a judgment of the Supreme Court in the year 2018. After 2013, in 2018, a three-judge bench of the Supreme Court, speaking through Justice Chandrachud, has very clearly said that if there is a stay of the conviction or the judgment, they have said three things. One, they have said there can be, an appellate court can stay a conviction and not merely a sentence. Two, they have given the reasons and the manner in which a conviction can be stayed. And three, they have said the moment a conviction is stayed, the disqualification cannot take or continue. Please notice the two words. It cannot take effect, or if it's taken effect, it cannot continue in effect immediately thereafter. Look, the fact is, either the appellate court reverses the conviction, or the appellate court reduces the sentence to less than 2 years, or he gets a stay of the conviction. Option 1 and 2 will happen only when the appeal is over, and knowing the time an appeal will take, we are talking about a couple of years at least, it's going to take time. Therefore, everything rests on stay of the conviction. In the past, Navjot Singh Sidhu's conviction was stayed to enable him to stand for elections by the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has also said in the 2018 judgment that the court has the discretion to look into the facts and look into the consequences to decide whether to stay the conviction or not. So the obvious course to be followed now would be to appeal the judgment and seek a stay of the conviction. And if the conviction is stayed, he immediately, the disqualification ceases to have effect and he continues.
Okay.
So I think, so far as that is concerned, the law is clear today. There was no question. But as the law stands, the moment he was sentenced, he was disqualified. But that disqualification can cease to have effect if the conviction gets stayed by the appellate court.
Are you of the opinion that because, you know, that 8(4) of the Representation of People's Act clearly says that elected representatives have 3 months to appeal their conviction. But it was declared unconstitutional by the bench of Justices A.K. Patnaik and S.J. Mukhopadhyay. So the question that I wish to ask is, you know, in terms of options before Rahul Gandhi, now that he stands disqualified, what is the time frame that you are looking at?
Well, the time frame I'm looking at is if he filed his appeal yesterday and asked for a stay yesterday of the conviction, the court always had the discretion to stay the conviction even yesterday. So it's not, that time frame will depend on how the case is moved. If tomorrow he moves his appeal and he asks for an immediate stay of conviction, then the court can always consider whether to stay the conviction or not. So the time frame can be anything. It depends on how quickly the court can be prevailed on to take it up.
Okay.
Can be convinced
then,
to take
then
it
Mr.
up.
Sundaram,
Now, let's say, for example, I'm giving an example.
Please go ahead.
If tomorrow there's a trust vote, let's say next week there's going to be a trust vote, and much is going to count on his one vote, then the court can be told, look here, this is a case where it's a defamation, it's not a heinous crime, there is a 2-year sentence, please therefore stay his conviction because the consequences are otherwise he won't be able to attend the House, he's disqualified, he cannot vote in the trust vote, he cannot vote in the budget, he cannot do various things. So that is for the court to be convinced, and that's for his lawyers to make out a case to justify an immediate stay of the conviction. And that depends on the case they put up before the court and how the court is satisfied.
My last question to you. So far as this case is concerned, do you see this being mishandled by Rahul Gandhi's team of lawyers? That urgency that you keep talking about, sir.
No, not at all. I mean, there's no question of mishandling. He has an excellent team of lawyers. I'm sure the lawyers are working out what exactly the strategy is. You asked me what the next course was, and the next course is filing that appeal and asking for an immediate stay. He has a battery of very eminent lawyers, I'm sure, who will be able to carry out whatever best can be done in the given situation.
And what will you say? I think this will be certainly a political question to ask you, but what will you tell those who are seeing this as witch hunt?
I don't see how it's a witch hunt unless you're saying that the court... Look, he made a statement. I must say this here and now. Unfortunately, it's become a fashion nowadays for politicians, whichever political party. I'm not talking about Rahul Gandhi and the Congress. I am saying any political party. You know, in political speeches, all kinds of defamatory statements, everything are bandied out, saying, I will not stop fighting, I have a right to speak. One should remember that Article 19(1)(a), one of the restrictions on freedom of speech is defamation. A politician doesn't stand on a different footing. Article 14 treats him the same as anyone else. If anyone else can defame, so can he. And if he defames, the politician will also be answerable to the law. And I hope this is the first step to see that there's no political mudslinging of a nasty, vile variety of defamation. I hope this will also be a first step to stop people from hate mongering and hate speeches, and to know that the effect of all this can be that you can be convicted and that you can be disqualified. So please, when you are doing a political debate, do not defame, do not cross lines. Do not, if you want to raise other issues, don't go into hate speeches, don't do such things. I think it's a great, in fact, this I think is an eye-opener for all politicians of all parties.
All right, Mr. Sundaram, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Manikam Tagore, it was Rahul Gandhi who actually tore that ordinance of his own government by saying that it was complete nonsense and should be torn up and thrown away. When you look back, is there a realization that that was a mistake? Manikam Tagore, if you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the right step in that time. He has taken it. But the question about, I don't want to contradict with the lawyer who is having his own opinion. But as he's not a politician, let him not counter his argument under this. The point is very simple, that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has stood for some cause, and he has been very clear on it. And he has, in 13 also, he stood for a cause. He told things that convicted corrupt practices, we should not be seen by protecting them. The government should not seem to be protecting the corrupt practices, or it may be the legislatures and others. That's the thing on 2013, if I remember. Mr. Gandhi's stand was there, because there was a consensus among the politicians, particularly BJP was also on board, to have that ordinance in place. That Mr. Gandhi had a view, think that because the new generation is against this kind of privileges to the politicians.
Mr. Tagore, since you are part of Team Rahul Gandhi, I want to understand from you, is there a realization that perhaps this case could have been handled far more delicately, because that urgency, if there was a disqualification order yesterday, the order that came yesterday, the judgment, the appeal could have been filed yesterday itself. That did not happen. We have seen how you moved, as the BJP is highlighting in case of Mr. Pawan Kheda.
No, this defamation case is a little tricky thing, and you need to understand that yesterday when we had a meeting also, senior lawyers like Abhishek Singhvi ji, Mr. Chidambaram ji, Vivek Tanka ji, Manish Tiwari ji, and Salman Khurshid ji all had their opinions, and there is a legal team which is working on that thing with the lower court from Gujarat. Advocates are working on it. Therefore, we feel that the legal team is doing whatever legally what they can be done, because that's a completely different step. First time for a defamation yes, in this sense is that what you call is a defamation. When whatever it can be interpreted in this debate also, what I'm going to say is can be interpreted as a defamation. Therefore, in this kind of thing in Gujarat, the way it has been treated, and it is a well-planned conspiracy to stop Rahul Gandhi ji from speaking in Parliament. It is a very clear thing. For us, it is 7th of February made the mark. 7th of February, when Rahul Gandhi ji spoke and asked 4 questions to Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, which Mr. Modi was not ready to answer itself about Adani and Adani's closeness about it. That 7th February speech made all other political things in a very big way, and they are
Prajita Sarangi, respond. Because the question is that this is an old case. It surfaces now, so the timing will be asked, and rightly so, by the Congress.
To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. As you sow, so shall you reap. Rahul Gandhi has been displaying reckless behavior and has been issuing irresponsible statements for quite some time. And I think the entire nation has been seeing this. We remember that 7th February date when he spoke about Adani and his organization, and he did not have any kind of evidence. Documentary evidence we had been asking for, he did not have those. And then he went to London in Cambridge, and he in fact tried to demean the status of our country and its countrymen. And he spoke about, the ills of democracy in India, and he also said that the democracy is in danger and Europe and America are silent about it. Why? See, these are very reckless. This is reckless behavior, and these are very irresponsible statements. And then what happened to 2019? I mean, let's see, the last straw on the camel's back. In 2019, he says, in Karnataka during election, all Modis are thieves. Now, what kind of statement is this? Now, this particular decision is that of a court. Now, BJP has not issued a statement, or BJP has not issued a direction. This is not BJP's making. Now he has to pay for the kind of behavior that he has been demonstrating. And in all these 4 years, court gave him ample time to actually give his evidence. and give his defense. And I'm sure it was a considered
then why
decision.
are you building
So he
this
might
all
not have been
around
able to convince
7th
the
of
court,
February?
and that is why this decision.
Why are you linking it to 7th of February just as the Congress is? What does this have to do with 7th of February and is Rahul Gandhi's statement in Parliament?
Sahab is actually linking. This is ridiculous. This is 2019 case. I mean, let us stick to this 2019 case. And again, I reiterate, please don't ascribe any reason whatsoever to Bharatiya Janata Party or to ED or to CBI. It is the court of Surat which has actually passed the order. So I think nobody, the Constitution of India and law of the land are supreme, and nobody is above the democratic institutions of the country.
Okay, Anush, Miss Pinky Anand, I want to understand from you. Criminal defamation has never led to a conviction of this nature. Are you seeing this as unprecedented? Because, you know, the Representation of People's Act, the very basis of it was meant to decriminalize Indian politics and to keep criminals away from politics. And look what is happening right now.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. See, ultimately the position is there have been several convictions and several disqualifications. It includes Jayalalitha's, it includes Lalu Prasad Yadav, it includes Masood, it includes at least another 8 or 9 other people who've been disqualified based upon convictions. So I don't know quite what you mean by that statement to say that it serves some other purpose.
But ma'am, those convictions have happened on corruption cases. This is about defamation.
No, the question is not this. It's not for you to decide or for me to decide. And it's not for anybody else to interpret this either. The law of the land is that it is in cases which are either identified under the Representation of People's Act or cases where there has been more than 2 years of conviction and sentence where you stand disqualified. This is a case where there is 2 years imprisonment and fine or fine provided for under Section 499 in IPC. With that position in hand, you have a conviction and a sentence of 2 years. On that basis, the 2 years is sufficient to disqualify Mr. Rahul Gandhi, which it has done as on the date the order was passed. And any saving grace that was there under the Act has been done away with by the Supreme Court in 2013 by Lily Thomas's judgment. So what remains? I mean, we'd be happy to continue to discuss this, but this is the way the law of the land is. You do want to decriminalize. In that decriminalization process, in fact, I don't know if you remember, but at that time when this entire process was going on, there was a discussion whether you should disqualify when a charge was framed. And in fact, that was struck down from the viewpoint that a charge was not good enough because charge was ultimately only in interim stage in a trial. But finally, it was held that if you have a conviction of 2 years, in that position, it was sufficient to prove a prima facie position where a person should be disqualified and can't stand till the appeal is decided, etc. So here you have that position in hand. You can't say it is different and because others were corruption cases and this is not a corruption case, therefore there's a difference. It is not for us to decide. The legislature has inbuilt it into the statute and that has been upheld. This was questioned. The entire positions have been upheld by the courts from time to time. That you do have a criminal law of defamation. Incidentally, we have a civil law of defamation also. So while we are crying hoarse, what if somebody had sued Rahul Gandhi in a similar situation for thousands of crores for harm to reputation? It could have happened. In that case, would you say that a civil case also doesn't lie? Simply because there is disqualification and political people are not exempt from free and fair speech to the extent that they have to confine and conform to what the norms of society are. You can't just say what you like, when you like, and that too in a capacity of classification, individual condemnation. You can't do that. A reputation is as valuable as money is, as much as a property is as an asset is. So what are we talking about here? Why are we crying hoarse? The position is not, and in fact, by the way, we are talking about, just earlier I was hearing, you are having a complete legal team of the Congress deciding whether what should be done. What should be done? If anything had to be done, look, logical, the legal way would have been to file an appeal and try to point out the infirmities in the judgment if there are any, and hopefully get some kind of order if they were able to get so. But they don't do that. They're just crying hoarse everywhere on this position to say, all right, we condemn this. This is the way BJP has done, and BJP is not even the forerunner of this position. And then go on to proceed on that. So obviously they want to have political capital out of it. So be it.
So this is a political move, certainly. That's how you're reading it, ma'am. That if anything, the legal team could have moved faster. The fact that they have not gone in for an appeal, they realize that this is a political opportunity and perhaps an opportunity to make Rahul Gandhi the fulcrum of what could be a visible opposition unity.
You see, it's always simple, and in fact, in politics, it's known. You are very happy to be an agreed person and chant the same in the public streets to say, all right, I was wronged, I was wronged. And if you're wronged by a system and you have an appeal against it, why don't you utilize it? What kind of great discourse is needed? I mean, similarly placed, I'm sure somebody else would have filed an appeal overnight.
Okay. Neerja, is this really an opportunity for the Congress party to emerge and give that position to Rahul Gandhi that they had been so trying desperately for? And can they?
Well, whether he'll get sympathy remains to be seen. It's early days yet. There could be. My question is, does the Congress have the will and the system to really take advantage of that kind of a situation, even if the sympathy was generated? Because you would have thought, now that there are protests mounting, we would have thought a pan-India party like the Congress within hours would have people on the streets protesting, as happened with Indira Gandhi in December 1978, when she also went to jail and lost her MPship. But anyway, it's a different Congress today. But what can Rahul Gandhi do now? I think he can continue to do what he was doing, go around the country, sit with people. He can become the sutradhar of opposition unity without being a claimant himself. To that extent, it strengthens his position. Much will depend on what he wants to do himself and how the Congress sees it. Certainly, the chances for the opposition to get together without necessarily under a Gandhi, which is what some parties had objection to, becomes that much easier, even though I think the leadership question will be decided not before the elections, but something that will happen only after the elections, were the opposition to be in that kind of a situation, to be able to form the government, which doesn't look likely at the moment, but then things are changing very, very fast.
Okay. Before I bring in Biswajit Deb, I will give the final word to Pinky Anand. Ma'am, legally speaking, you see this as the law taking its course and that there is no witch hunt or some kind of misuse of power as the opposition would like us to believe.
I agree that this is the position that one is taking. There have been earlier situations in the past on whatever other different factual scenarios. You've had convictions, you've had disqualifications. In fact, at that time, when the ordinance was torn up, it was to save Lalu's seat and Lalu's disqualification. So what is the answer here? The answer here is you're looking at a better India, which is seeking to condemn people legally for what they are doing, which doesn't fit into the concept of civil society. So, so much is said that political speeches can be made. Yes, political speeches can be made. What does a mature democracy do? You talk about policies of the government. You talk about, you might find flaw in those very well, so be it. There is some agenda. There is some propaganda. There is something that you pick up. You don't pick up individuals or individualization. In fact, I think that should be condemned overall. This kind of thing, to call people thieves, to call them in that category and to keep ferreting out that kind of statement, I think it's very unfortunate. So really speaking, I think we're looking at a new India, and it's high time that all of us realized it.
Okay. Manikam Tagore? The legal community seems to be standing on one side and they're all of the opinion that this is the law of the land and it is just following the process of the
community. This is not legal community. This is BJP community. Let us come to the truth that they are speaking in different masks, and we know the thing that they are BJP people, and
you have Arvind Sundaram and Pinky Anand. These are lawyers. These are respected lawyers. Manikam Tagore.
I also know lawyers. Okay, let us know think that what the lawyers they are. I have also done my lawyer. Okay, let us come to the point that these things, this propaganda will continue. We are very clear that we will fight it out, and there are legal minds in Congress. We will fight it out, but it is an attack on the democracy, and it's a clear case that BJP, which is rattled, and particularly Mr. Adani and Modi, who has money and who has power, are attacking the person who has said the truth in the parliament. They are not allowed the same person to enter into parliament. 8 days he was requesting, 2 letters he wrote to the Honorable Speaker to speak. When 5 ministers were making all allegations, defamatory allegations, like Rajnath Singh, when I had given a privilege motion, notice on Rajnath Singh. Therefore, we are very clear. We will fight it out. We are ready for a fight. We will fight it out. We'll go to the people, tell to the people, because I suppose the retired journalist was telling about the thing that nothing road has come on. She should see the newer visuals what you are showing it. In your visuals you are showing, which are
we
where
are
Congress
showing
workers
some
are
of them, but you
protesting.
know, the point being
What
made by
I'm saying
Nirja is that if the Congress actually plans to make this a national issue, then they should have hit the streets and made it the talking point. But instead,
We
what
have
is
to
appearing
understand
is that not all believe that this is witch hunt.
It is when you call BJP spokesperson, my colleague BJP MP, she will speak for BJP only, and the BJP additional Solicitor General who in the BJP role, she will speak for BJP only. What is there? They are all BJP people.
Okay, but tell me, Manikam Dekor, is the Congress sensing a political opportunity here? कि सारे opposition आपके साथ आ जाएंगे. So far, Mamata Banerjee, Akhilesh, KCR, everybody was opposing you.
We are already on the movement for a democratic. The Modi and RSS are attacking democratic processes in India. Particularly, Parliament has become just a rubber stamp now. 43 lakh crores of demands for grants were just passed within 9 minutes. Nobody can have discussion. The ruling party members were disturbing the house to this time, and we were.
Okay, Biswajit Dev, I want to understand from
Sarangi ji there, but many of the BJP members were disturbing.
I can see S.Y. Qureshi, former CC, also joining us now. Biswajit Dev, coming to you first, I want to understand what exactly is the TMC's stand. Are you also backing the Congress party's demand for a JPC on Adani issue, or is this only for Rahul Gandhi and the disqualification? Selective backing.
You see, first of all, we like to make it very clear that in Prime Minister Modi's New India, all opposition parties and their leaders are being targeted. While you can see that BJP leaders with criminal antecedents are in the Union Cabinet, leaders of the opposition are being disqualified for just making speeches. This is very unfortunate. You see, this is another attack on the parliamentary system. This is another attack on the democracy of our country. But so far as Congress is concerned, you see, our stand is very clear. Our stand is that Mamata Banerjee has proved herself being the third term Chief Minister of Bengal. She has proved herself that she can only fight BJP.
So then in that case, you are of the opinion that TMC feels, and this is not for the first time you would be saying it, but you have been saying it repeatedly, that she should be the face of opposition. Because she can take on the BJP and defeat them electorally, as they did in assembly elections.
Please try to understand what I am saying. There is no use making premature speculation.
Okay.
But what I am saying is this, Mamata Banerjee she has proved, being the third time Chief Minister in Bengal, she has proved that it is she that who can fight BJP, and who can defeat BJP. She has proved it in West Bengal in 2021.
Okay, let me just go back
in the coming years also
and try and understand the factual position now from S.Y. Qureshi. Mr. Qureshi, really appreciate your time. I want to understand from you, sir, what next for Rahul Gandhi in terms of, because he has been disqualified, will there be elections in Wayanad?
Well, the only way out is the judicial process. He'll have to go in appeal, because after Lily Thomas judgment of Supreme Court in 2013, it has been made very clear that the moment a person is convicted by a court of law, the disqualification will kick in immediately. Earlier, under Section 8 of Representation of People Act, subsection 4, while you and me on conviction become disqualified, but MPs and MLAs were given 3 months moratorium straight away, and after they file appeal, which all of them did, till the completion of their tenure in Parliament or in Vidhan Sabha. So somebody challenged it in the court, Lil Thomas case, that this is a discrimination, this violates equality. So a court found merit in it, and they said that on conviction, immediately disqualification will set in. So that's what they said. Now, what next for Rahul Gandhi? He has to appeal, because if conviction is set aside, there also, there is confusion, Maria, that some people are confused suspension of conviction and suspension of the sentence. Now, sentence was suspended by the court itself for 30 days. Otherwise, procedurally, if somebody is convicted, he'll be picked up by the police, taken to jail right there. So for 30 days, there was a stay on that so that he can appeal. But conviction is still valid. On conviction, Lily Thomas case kicks in and disqualification kicks in. Now, since 2013, many things have happened. Not very long ago, 3-4 months ago, same thing happened in Lakshadweep. One MP was convicted, and immediately Lok Sabha Secretariat issued a disqualification and wrote to the Election Commission to do a by-poll. Election Commission also was super quick. They also notified the by-poll. Now, Kerala High Court stayed the conviction, which means the disqualification came to a naught. The guy is innocent because his conviction has been stayed. Now, Supreme Court had to come in and tell the Election Commission to stop the by-election. Now, all that has happened, by-election has been stopped. But Lok Sabha Secretariat, which was super fast in issuing his disqualification, has still not issued a notification taking him back. The guy has, in fact, in today's newspapers, he has said that I've been going to Parliament every day, but they're not letting me in. Now, what is that? That is not very efficient, and that's not very fair.
Mr. Qureshi, I want to understand from you, what will the Election Commission be doing now after the notification that has come from the Lok Sabha Secretariat saying that Rahul Gandhi has been disqualified?
Yes, I hope the Election Commission has 6 months to fill up a vacancy. If they do the same thing as they did in Lakshadweep case, that within 2-3 days they issued the notification, they'll cut a sorry figure. Now they have 6 months. Why should they be in super hurry? So therefore, they should wait and let us see what the judiciary does. And if judiciary stays the conviction, the whole thing is back to square one, and there is no disqualification, there is no vacancy. Therefore, there is no cause of action. There is nothing.
All right, Mr. Qureshi, appreciate your time. Thank you for explaining to us what the Election Commission will be doing. And let me go back to the politicians and come to the moot question now. Aparajita, if anything, this action by the court, I'm not saying that the BJP has done it or the government has anything to do with it, has only united the opposition.
See, this is none of the concern of BJP. Prime Minister Modi and his government and the Bharatiya Janata Party concentrate on their work, and we would be working for the poor in the days to come as we have been doing. We would be contesting the 2024 elections with a lot of confidence because we know that the blessings of people are with Prime Minister Modi. As far as this particular case is concerned, this is the doing of Rahul Gandhi, and I would definitely like to mention here that it seems that Congress party, congressmen and women are not backing Rahul Gandhi as they should. Otherwise, today's incident would not have happened. I mean, I can go to the extent of saying, remember Pawan Khera case, the promptness of Congress actually mesmerized us, and that was worth appreciation. But 24 hours passed and they did not do anything. So I think they also, many of the congressmen and women also feel that what Rahul Gandhi had been saying and doing was not correct. I think Rahul Gandhi, as
you know, Prajita, you are making me, I can see a smile also on Manikam's face. Manikam, so is that what a section of the Congress is thinking? This is perhaps lowering the, political discourse, which Rahul Gandhi should not have done. And that's the reason why, the entire legal strategy was also so divided. The urgency which was shown in alacrity as well in Pawan Khera's case was not here.
That's right.
Shown here.
No, that is my friend, my colleague is a learned friend who is an IRS officer, who was an IRS officer, but former Chief Election Commissioner explained it clearly. The defamation case is a completely different story. Therefore, it has an appeal limit. After the my friend Lakshadweep MP's case, it has become more different, disqualification part. Therefore, the speaker's role as well as the appeal sessions court, we have to go to a sessions court now for appeal, then we have to go to for a higher court appeal, This will all happen in Gujarat. We know that Gujarat, how politics is being run. Then we will come to Supreme Court. It is going to take another 1 month time. Our legal team is working on it. Instead of going directly to the Supreme Court, will not have given any kind of thing because it's a defamation case, and they will ask us to come back because 1 month time is there. Therefore, these are all the. But people, my colleague might have got these imaginary things from her own things, colleagues from the BJP itself, because they are expert in building stories. But I'm only worried that the government BJP is working for poor, for middle class and others. She was telling it. But we see Mr. Adani rising from 609th place to second world's richest person in 9 years. We see that change because one person has got this much wealth in 9 years, and Mr. Modi is working overtime to make Mr. Adani the richest person. And Mr. Modi is not ready to answer about Mr. Adani in the floor also.
Okay.
The house is being
Aparajita, respond to this charge that if anything, all this is diversionary tactic by the BJP because you do not want to address this question.
See, the Adani issue is pending in the Supreme Court. Aren't we aware of that? I think the Congress people have many advocates, lawyers. They must be knowing. There are 3 petitions. An expert committee has been formed. And there are 6 members, very learned ones on the expert committee. And these people have been chosen by Honorable Supreme Court. There is absolutely no role of the central government in selection of these people. So I think in 2 months' time, the expert committee will give the report, and whatever the report that is. So I think to demand JPC at this stage is absolutely ridiculous. And as far as this particular case is concerned, we are aware of the fact that this is the 7th case in which Rahul Gandhi has gone on bail. This was it. And in 6 cases, in fact, defamation suits had been filed. So we must say that he is a habitual offender.
Okay.
In
what does it do to opposition unity, Biswajit Deb? Will the TMC and other opposition parties be joining in these protests that are being held by the Congress party? Or will it be only the Congress protests?
Well, we want to make it very clear that in the BJP rule in India, all opposition parties are being targeted. The BJP wants to silence the voice of the opposition in India, and we need to unite. All the opposition parties need to unite, but it's a question that who will lead the opposition? Well, I want to make it very clear at this particular stage that we should not go for a speculation, a premature speculation. We should not go for a premature speculation. But I can say one thing, that Mamata Banerjee has proved herself that she can resist BJP, and she has proved it in 2021 in the Bengal elections.
Even today, Neerja, you get the final word.
She will prove it.
The division in the opposition is visible. If anything, Mamata Banerjee being best suited is being something that the TMC is speaking about to lead the opposition charge.
Are you asking me?
Yes. Neerja, you get the final word. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I think, it makes it easier without Rahul Gandhi in the lead or the Congress projecting him, even without projecting him coming across as the main face of the opposition. It becomes easier for the opposition groupings to, get together for 2024. Now, as far as the choice of their leader, I think it's not going to be possible before the election. This is something they will have to sort out after the election. What is very important to work out is one-on-one contests against the BJP in as many Lok Sabha constituencies as possible. Now, will Rahul Gandhi, can he now, as I say, play the role of Sutradhar without being claimant himself? Get the opposition together, he'll be viewed with less suspicion. And will he continue to hit the road as he's done with these yatras, sit with people? That remains to be seen. Because even without MPship, he can play a very, very important role as far as the Congress goes.
Okay. Just the Congress, Mr. Biswajit, you don't see Rahul Gandhi playing any bigger role? Will he be accepted?
Well, we want to make it very clear that, You see, since the last few years we have seen that in 45 by-elections, Congress lost 40 by-elections. We have seen that 460 important leaders have left Congress and joined other political parties. And we have also seen that in 2006, Congress had 16 chief ministers, whereas now they have only 3 chief ministers. So now it's a question, you see, the question of who will lead the opposition and who will be the Prime Minister, that comes really after the elections are over. But as of now, we can see that it is only Mamata Banerjee who can fight BJP and who can be only an alternative for Narendra Modi.
If anything,
and this is a practical.
This could very well be just optics of unity. And when it comes to the real game, the real power play, the opposition is very much a divided house.
Before 2014, all these people had tried to come together. They failed. And before 2019 also the same thing happened, the parade happened, but nothing actually took place. So I think again today 14 parties had joined hands with the Congress. But from tomorrow again you would see they would be going their own ways. So I don't think they have a leader, I don't think they have a face at this juncture. So the opposition unity is a mirage, and I think the entire country has known
as
this.
far as 2024 is concerned, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP appear certainly in the pole position. Thank you so much for your time, Manikam Tagore, Aprajita Sarangi, Neerja Chaudhary and Biswajit Deb. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.
Amazing, unprecedented conviction. It has no legs to stand on, and we are confident we'll get a stay of conviction.
So what is your next step going to be legally? Are you going to move the Sessions Court asking for a stay on conviction? Are you going to move the Supreme Court? What is your next legal step?
Absolutely. Stay of conviction is a vital condition precedent. It is the most necessary thing. And, it takes some time to draft, to meet your lawyers, to file. This is hardly 24 hours ago this has happened.
Okay.
So they've gone there.
All right, joining us now is one of the top legal eagles of the Congress party, Supreme Court lawyer and member of parliament in the Rajya Sabha, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. You held an elaborate press conference today as well as yesterday. The order by the Lok Sabha Secretariat to disqualify Mr. Gandhi as member of parliament. You are questioning the alacrity, the speed with which this order has come. But what the Speaker's office and what the Lok Sabha Secretariat are saying is that this is an automatic disqualification because after the 2013 Lily Thomas judgment, any member of parliament who's convicted for 2 years or more automatically loses his or her membership.
I am not questioning merely the alacrity. I am giving you several facets. The first and the largest facet which I have taken up today and partly yesterday is that it is not a legal issue, it's a political issue. There is, according to us, a systematic emasculation of democratic institutions, democratic spirit, and therefore of democracy itself by this government. As I said, freedom of speech has been imperiled, freedom after speech has been more imperiled by a series of intimidatory tactics, coercive criminal steps. First and foremost, see that larger political perspective. Rahul Gandhi speaks without fear, a very, very great candor. He speaks on economics, politics. He criticizes, he talks of demonetization, GST, and he goes abroad, he comes back, and they say you can't come to parliament till you apologize on fake notions of fake nationalism, pretended nationalism, artificial created nationalism. He goes into parliament and speaks on the day the Prime Minister speaks, and he's referred to Privileges Committee. Has it happened in all these decades of parliamentary democracy that parliamentarians who have an additional right of free speech beyond 19(1)(a) are intimidated in this way? See that larger perspective. Okay. He comes out, and for the first time in the history I've never seen, the ruling party says this parliament will not go on unless a prior condition preceded of him apologizing. So I think this has never happened, and this is nothing but another attempt in the chain. Now I want to tell you something interesting about the sequence of events in this proceeding which led to the conviction yesterday. The complaint is of 2019, and Rahul Gandhi goes and appears in person in Surat in June 2021. There is a different magistrate then.
Okay.
The magistrate is changed in 2022. Meanwhile, the complainant has already gone to the High Court and sought a stay of his own complaint. And that is pending from early March 22 all the way to this year, February 23. The complainant is not interested in the complaint. Rahul Gandhi gives a speech, the famous or infamous speech, on 7th of February, a fiery speech criticizing the conduct of this government. 7th of February 23. And that complainant suddenly lands up in the High Court and says, I want to withdraw my own stay against my own complaint. I want the trial to start immediately. On 16th February, 9 days after 7th February, the stay from the High Court is withdrawn by that complainant. And the matter is resumed on 27th February. And lo and behold, judgment comes on 23rd March. So all of it happens in less than about a month and a half. After that speech. Before that, it's been lying quiet at the complainant's instance for 1 year.
No,
The matter Rahul Gandhi speaks about is in Kolar, Karnataka. The magistrate is obliged to have an inquiry under a section called 202 because he is in Surat. He has to have a territorial inquiry. He doesn't do it. The argument is taken, noted. He doesn't do it.
No, so Dr. Singhvi, the BJP is just holding a press conference. In fact, we were on it just now, where they are saying that this is attack against an entire community, that you're attacking the OBC Samaj, you're attacking the Modi Samaj. Politically speaking, how does the Congress party and how do you respond to that? Because it's not just one individual who Rahul Gandhi has allegedly insulted, but the entire community, a backward caste community.
He named 3 persons in that objectionable statement, which is the subject matter of defamation.
परिवर्तन लोग अपने सामने देख रहे हैं, अपने जीवन में देख रहे हैं। उससे हर भारतीय में ये विश्वास आया है कि 21वीं सदी का भारत अपनी कमजोरियों को छोड़कर, अपने बंधनों को तोड़कर भारत आगे बढ़ सकता है।
Poonawalla FinCorp presents News 18 Rising India Real Heroes. 29th and 30th March on News 18 Network.
Court, what is your next legal step?
Absolutely. Stay of conviction is a vital condition precedent. It is the most necessary thing. And, it takes some time to draft, to meet your lawyers, to file. This is hardly 24 hours ago this has happened.
Okay.
So they've gone there.
All right, joining us now is one of the top legals of the Congress party, Supreme Court lawyer and member of parliament in the Rajya Sabha, Dr. Manu Singhvi. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. You held an elaborate press conference today as well as yesterday. The order by the Lok Sabha Secretariat to disqualify Mr. Gandhi as member of parliament. You are questioning the alacrity, the speed with which this order has come. But what the Speaker's office and what the Lok Sabha Secretariat are saying is that this is an automatic disqualification because after the 2013 Lily Thomas judgment, any member of parliament who's convicted for 2 years or more automatically loses his or her membership.
I am not questioning merely the alacrity. I am giving you several facets. The first and the largest facet which I have taken up today and partly yesterday is that it is not a legal issue, it's a political issue. There is, according to us, a systematic emasculation of democratic institutions, democratic spirit, and therefore of democracy itself by this government. As I said, freedom of speech has been imperiled, freedom after speech has been more imperiled by a series of intimidatory tactics, coercive criminal steps. First and foremost, see that larger political perspective. Rahul Gandhi speaks without fear, a very, very great candor. He speaks on economics, politics. He criticizes, he talks of demonetization, GST, and he goes abroad, he comes back and they say you can't come to parliament till you apologize on fake notions of fake nationalism, pretended nationalism, artificial created nationalism. He goes into parliament and speaks on the day the Prime Minister speaks, and he's referred to Privileges Committee. Has it happened in all these decades of parliamentary democracy that parliamentarians who have an additional right of free speech beyond 19(1)(a) are intimidated in this way? See that.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this Friday edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Ladies and gentlemen, the Congress MP from Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi, has been disqualified. Disqualified soon after the judgment by a Surat court that held him guilty and convicted him on the charges of criminal defamation, sentencing him to 2 years in jail. That's the maximum punishment. And thereafter, giving him an immediate relief in terms of bail on a bail bond of 15,000 rupees. Rahul Gandhi disqualified from Lok Sabha a day after this development in that defamation case. A notice has been issued by the Lok Sabha Secretariat, and that said he stood disqualified from the House from the 23rd of March onwards, the day of his conviction. Now Rahul Gandhi will have to